let's double check to see if Hocker is in the 5K. I think Teare is doing the 5K and Hocker is doing the 15 based off of what I saw in the trial entries. I'll double check that really quick before I don't want to do a whole segment on an event that they're not even running. So 5K, what do we got? Teare's running the 5K. So they're both declared in the 5K, and I think they might be both declared in the 15. So, yeah, they're both declared in the 5K, and they're both declared in the 15, but they're not going to do both, right? Because it's not a double that's possible. You would know this, right?
Well, at the trials, they could do both. It's the women's.
That's okay. All right.
So let me just tell you.
What's first?
I'll go
what's
through
first?
On the men's side. Oh wait, hold on. No. I think you're right.
Because they're both declared in the 15 and the 5.
I think you're right. Sorry, my apologies. Scratch this from the record. 15 and 5 are on the same day for qualifying on day 7. So they do the first round on the same day, semifinals the next day in the 1500, and the final day, the 5,000 and the 1500 are 40 minutes apart. So my apologies, got the schedule mixed up. So the 15 and 5 double for the men, not possible. So it's one or the other. What do you think Teare chooses? What do you think Hocker chooses? And do they have a chance to make the Olympic team?
Well, if you're first them, do you choose based on what you think your best event is, or do you choose what you think the weaker event is? How do you approach it? Do you think about the competition, or you just think about yourself?
I think you choose it on what's my best chance to get on the Olympic team.
You're hedging. So is it? But what's more important, the competition or your ability?
It's the combination of those things. It's which gets me to Tokyo, right? So I think for Hocker, it's 1500 for sure. I think that's an easy choice for Cole Hocker. We just saw how good he was in the 1500, and I think the 1500 team for him is going to be an easier squad to make. Neither of them are easy, but it's the best one, the best option for him. Now, Teare, I think it's a little more complicated. But for Hocker, I think it's straightforward.
Look at Nick Willis putting up his USATF trials picks. We're going to save our trials picks for Wednesday. So we won't tell you who we think is going to make the team. But apparently
he's got Hobbs Kessler on the team.
He's got Kessler. I mean, he's a little biased. I think Nick Willis needs to stop tweeting about Hobbs Kessler. I think he has a little bit of a problem. He finds a way to turn everything like, oh, did I mention Hobbs Kessler? Like the NCAA final happens, he's like, I just want to let you know, Hobbs Kessler has a faster PB. I'm like, all right, great.
He does.
He's a little Hobbs Kessler obsessed. It's like it's his dad or something. It's kind of crazy.
It's a fact.
I bet you 5 out of every 6 tweets are about Hobbs Kessler or associated about Hobbs Kessler. If you look at his Twitter timeline, it's incredible. Anyway, I think Hocker should do the 15. I agree with you. I think Teare has more of like a legitimate question because we kind of forget Teare can run a quick 15, a quick mile. Teare almost beat Nagus. Yeah. And if Nagus is someone that we can think can make an Olympic team, you got to think that Teare is in that conversation. And the question is, are the Lemongs and Grant Fishers and Paul Chilimos too established in the 5K that Teare won't really be able to? I mean, what do you think Teare has a better chance of cracking the top 3? A 5K with those Bowerman guys or the 1500 with the college guys, a high school kid, and then Engels and Centro?
I think 15, just because the 15 could get wild and unpredictable, and that would be his best chance. It's just the 5 is going to be tough to navigate with the Bowerman guys plus Chilimo and Bohr, Klecker, True, Jenkins. There's just a lot of different people in there who you could see putting together the right race to win with the right combo of experience.
Now, would you think that? Look at the times.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Is Fisher in? Oh, okay. He's at the bottom. I had a momentary freak out there. Fisher's at the bottom. It says qualified, but he hasn't declared yet. That
Yeah,
would be
he hasn't
weird.
declared it.
Same
But
with
if you
Vermont.
look at the times, I mean, a lot of the top times that were run in the 5K were run in 2019 or in 2020, because in 2021, Teare's the fourth fastest. And he did his time in a championship style race, not in a time trial. And McGordy's probably not going to run. So if you go just off of 2021 times, he's the third fastest man.
Yeah, but you really going to count out
Obviously.
Chalimo?
No.
You going to count out Bohr? I mean, those were indoor marks that they ran, so they're not part of this list. And I think you got to put Kincaid in there based on what he's done in 2019. You get a more randomized result when you go to the 15. And as you said, Teare can kick, Teare can close. We saw it in the 5K. So that's probably the better shot. I think he has a chance in the 5K though too. But just the sheer randomness of the 1500 lends itself to some unpredictable outcomes.
Here's a factor we should think about. What about the friendship factor? I'm assuming that Cooper Teare and Cole Hocker are friends, they're teammates. Wouldn't they both would they want to work together and be like, hey, the odds of both of us being top 3 in the same race are a lot harder than the odds of individually us being top 1 in 2 separate races, top 3 in 2 separate races. So do you think there's a little bit of like, hey, I want both of us to make it, so it might be better for us to make sure we split events, and Cooper Teare does the 5K because the last thing he wants to do is make an Olympic team knocking Hocker out in 4th, as opposed to making an Olympic team and also seeing Hocker make one in the other event.
There's a lot of people there, though. This isn't like winning, let's divide up our NCAA championships. There's just like a lot of other factors and people in the way, too. The odds that they go 3-4 in something and knock the other one out, I think is pretty low. So I think they both do what's in their own best interests, and they shake hands and are friends after the race. That's what I would think. And I think for Hocker, it's going to be the 15. That would be my guess. Then again, I didn't think he'd double at NCAAs. So we could be wrong.